That's a pretty good looking puppy right there. Sit. Turn around. Good job. Good job. Yeah, she's a pretty good looking puppy. But she is not what this video is about. I have not gotten very far on the layer chicken tractor. I'm going to blame Harbor Freight and the supply chain issues because they don't have two more 10-inch flat-free wheels, and I'm going to blame them for why I haven't done anything. So it doesn't stand up. But something has happened that is going to make me change how I'm working on this anyway, and I want to show you that right now. Now, if you're one of my 5 faithful subscribers, you know the origins of these 4 chickens over here, and I'll get to that in a second. But right now I want to show you something that's amazing. You see that in the back? That's an egg. That's right, that's an egg. Oh my gosh, there's another egg. These little girls have had their first eggs. Now you might say, why is that amazing? They're chickens. Well, they're meat chickens, or at least that's what they were bought for. As I said, if you're one of my 5 faithful, you know that the last time I did meat chickens, I ordered, I don't know, 18 or so of the white regular Cornish crosses. But I got 4 of these Freedom Rangers or American Rangers or whatever they're called from McMurray Hatchery because I just wanted to try them out. And when it came time to harvest and process the white chickens, these guys were nowhere near the right size. White chickens mature in 6 to 8 weeks, and the Cornish crosses do. And these Rangers, they take like 12 weeks. So I was letting them mature a little more before I harvested them. However, in that time period, if you're one of my 5 faithful, you know this, a fox or a couple of foxes, a gang of foxes, a band of criminal foxes attacked and killed my 2 youngest chickens over in the layer yard, and really cut my egg production down. I mean, I was actually selling you know, I don't know, a dozen a week to somebody at work, and suddenly now we only have enough eggs for ourselves, which is fine. But the 3 layers that I have left now, they're a little older, and they only give me, you know, each of them give me an egg every other day. So I need more layers. And I really didn't want in the heat of the summer to be growing more chicks and raising more chicks. So what I did is I looked these guys up and I found out that these can lay. Unlike the Cornish crosses, which get so big so fast, they never need to mature to laying age because their legs just can't handle their weight. And yeah, that's one reason why I'm looking at these guys, because I don't know, I kind of got a problem with that. I mean, I love the meat. I love how big they get, how quick, and if that's all they're for, great. But I don't know, something just bothers me about the fact that if you wait too long, they go cripple. So anyway, enough of my my personal soul searching. So I got these 4 girls, and I read that they can become layers because they don't have these problems. I mean, they're good sized girls, but they are now. It took them a while, but they're fine. I mean, they walk fine and everything like that, and they can be layers. They have a normal lifespan, evidently. So I decided to see if they would lay, and today I find out they do. So what is the future for these 4 girls? Well, I think at least 2 of them are going to be melded into the flock and become layers. And maybe I'll harvest 2 of them, because I still do want to find out what kind of meat bird the rancher or the ranger or whatever this thing's called is. Now, here's where I screwed up. Because they were meant to be meat birds, I at one point I didn't have a roost for them, and I don't think that they've learned to roost because I waited too long. And I obviously don't have a nesting box in here. And that's why we're telling this story, and that's where it comes into play for this guy. So now, this morning, I'm rethinking everything. I'm thinking I need a nesting box in here. And hopefully they're going to know what a nesting box does. Now, this tractor was never meant for layers. It is a meat chicken tractor. So I may pull one of those plastic nesting boxes and just try to put it up somehow so that they will get used to nesting. And then what I'm going to do is, I move these guys every day. I'm going to start moving them that direction and pull them up alongside the layer yard so that they can all start getting used to each other, because at some point I need to fold at least 2 of these girls into my layer flock. And so that's where we are today. But ain't it cool? I got 2 eggs this morning. That's so cool. It has been weeks since that last little clip. And the only reason I even left it in there is because I just wanted to share with you about the chickens laying eggs. And I know I just said that I was gonna move that over there so that all the chickens could start kumbayaing. I changed my mind. I didn't do that. So don't believe anything I say. So back to the chicken tractor. I have made a little progress, capital L. Let's see what I have done. Well, I have finally gotten 4 complete flat free wheels. I've completed the wheel hubs, the bolts that will be wheel hubs. I've also built the stands in the corners for the waterers. And the reason I did it that way was because I've just decided I'm going to go 4 wheels, and I want that stuff in the back so that the weight is for the most part in the back. I've also put the 2 nesting boxes in. I don't know how I feel about those things. I bought them instead of building them because I thought that they'd save a lot of weight, and it will. There's no way I could make nesting boxes that light, but I'm not sure I'm happy with them. First of all, look at those holes. I think my chickens are bigger than that. I think I'm going to end up having to waller those holes out some, but we'll see. We'll get to that. I have also finally got some wire up here, and you can see that I've used a lot of plastic ties, cable ties, and I need to cut those off. There's cable ties, but there's also, if you look, there's also in places little hog rings, and I didn't use as many hog rings this time as I had in the past because the cable ties did remarkably well on the last earlier version of this. You can see hog rings there. So I've used hog rings where 2 sections of chicken wire go together, but all this is going to be covered over by fabric. So I've just learned that the cable ties, they're out of the light, and they've just held up really well, even though I buy the cheapest cable ties you can possibly buy. Now I'll tell you where I'm really struggling, and maybe someone here can give me some advice. Now you see those 2 2x3s going across. I had thought to make those my roosting bars, but I realized that that's going to really be a pain in the butt for me from the standpoint of getting in and doing things. Now, how often do I need to come in and do things? Not that often. Nesting boxes are here. The waterers will be fed from here. The feeders will be up there. But I still wonder if I want those there. So I'm toying with the idea of running them vertically instead of horizontally this direction. Not all the way, but down to it to a space. Let me know what you think. I'm really open to suggestions. I just don't know what I want to do. So here's where I've gotten to, and here's where I'm at. The wheels work fine as long as the wheels are bolted in tight. These cheap Harbor Freight wheels, they're plastic hubs, these flat free wheels. If I leave any play, they will just fall apart. I've had to put them back together already. I wish I could find some big wing nuts, but this is a 5/8 inch nut, and I can't find 5/8 wing nuts. So it's a real pain to put those things on. I mean, right now we're looking at only moving this thing every 2 days, but still, that's a lot of work just to move it 12 feet or so. So I'm still struggling with that. A lot of struggles with this. So I think we're ready to start putting the fabric on. All right, so I got the stuff on. This is not Tyvek. It's the next quality lower. And this is leftover stuff from when I did the she shed. And if you're one of my 5 faithful, you remember the she shed, which is way over there, that I built for my wife. And this was, what do you call it? The building liner, whatever they call the vapor barrier, whatever. And this is just leftover stuff from that. Unfortunately, I'm out now. There's not enough to do a second layer. That one had 2 layers, and it's just done wonderful. I'm really sorry I didn't have enough to do 2 layers here. I don't know how well 1 layer is going to work, but we'll find out. And like I said, it was just extra stuff. And now one thing I am doing different, as I've said all along, I'm trying to make it much lighter than that one. Even though it's bigger, I'm not saying it will be lighter at the end, but I'm trying to build it lighter. So instead of, 1x2s or even 2x2s that I had wood, I'm using plumber strapping, and even the smallest holes in the plumber strapping is too big for my screws, so I got little washers, and this is all stuff I just had around. So that's how I'm fastening that down. So that's holding both the chicken wire and this stuff down. Now, on this end, I've always been planning to put some of that, I don't know what you call it, shade cloth. I've got some shade cloth from something, and I was going to do that on this end of it. It's a heavier material, and I'm going to overlap it some, and I hope it'll help to kind of hold that end down. To hold this end down, I've got some tape, if it's still good, that I'm going to try to run like a tape bead down this thing. And it may not work, and it may not last, but hey, we're experimenting here. So this is the tape that came or was supposed to be used with this non-Tyvek vapor barrier stuff, so it sticks to it really well. And no, this chicken tractor is not sponsored in any way by Lowe's, although Lowe's, if you're watching, I'm willing to talk. Everything has a price. So that went on pretty good. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but it went on good. Considering how old this stuff is, it still has a lot of tapiness to it. Okay, well, as is my life these days, it's starting to rain, so I'm probably going to stop here for the day. Back at it. We're getting back at it. Next thing I'll do is try to get this end built. I've got to put the wire on before I can put the wood on, and I'll get that done and go from there.